Antics on Scottish Turf, written by John Eaton, narrated by Michelle Sloan. Episode 6. Chip. She was just about to curse when Pin walked in and said, "House insurance, I think that should cover it." "Yes," said Chip. "I didn't like that model anyway. I did prefer the Panasonic colour, as it's got widgets for games, which would have been a better buy, and probably would not have crashed and broke. So, when we get back, I'll file for an insurance claim." Chip walked out of the bedroom, leaving Alison and Pin to clear up. "I don't know how you," Pin started to say. Alison was not ready for that conversation, replied, "Don't worry, I'll get him. Just you wait and see. I'll get him." Pin smiled. Alison could play the woman-scorned role, and Chip had better watch out. After another half an hour, the car was eventually loaded, and they all got in. They were all quiet to start with, everyone just getting ready for the long road ahead. Lady Helen tuned into BBC Radio 3. Day 1. The journey begins. 21.12/1994. Pin tapped his feet as he opened up this map. From here, we need to hit the M5 at Soton and head for Bristol, hoping there are no long queues. Since it is a few days before Christmas, I think all should be well. Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto on the Classics show was the music that was being listened to. Chip moaned, "Can you turn this over or off? If not, I won't make it to Bristol." "Keep it on," said Alison. "If that's the case, drop Chip off now." "Chip, you should really listen to this music. It tells the story of Sergei Rachmaninoff's mental state, where this is a record of an artist's survival. He was in a deep of depression. Rachmaninoff could see no way out. This concerto, dedicated to his therapist, was his companion as he took his first steps into the light." "I didn't know that, Pin," said Lady Helen. "Maybe it was one of my husband's favourites." "Probably one of his Russian spy boyfriends gave it to him," said Chip, suddenly realising he had opened his mouth and put his foot into it. "Sorry," he said. "A passing joke that went badly wrong. I am happy for you to listen to it all as long as we can have some more happy music when it's finished." Eventually, the symphony finished. Lady Helen turned the radio over to Radio 2. Pin was still observing the map. He advised, "I need to remind everyone that after Taunton, we drive past Bridgewater." Now, in the past, the Bridgewater cellophane factory was known for its smell, which was sometimes called British smellophane. Although these days the factory is in decline, there is still a pungent smell in the area, which is probably why that place is considered a do-not-enter town, so no one wanted to live there. Some say Bridgewater should have a wall built around it, and that would save us all. But this is the 1990s, so that is off the list of things to do. That smell may have deterred businesses from locating in the area, but who knows? Anyway, at the rate of that company decline, it should win the clean air competition in 2000, so they say. "Yes," said Alison. "I didn't know what town it was, but there was always a strange smell when I was driving to Bristol. I just thought it was the Bristol Channel or the sewage works, or both. With that nuclear power plant at Hickley Point and all, wouldn't want to live there. If it imploded, it could blow up the whole of Somerset." The radio was on, and Chip was listening to the song playing. "Wait a minute, listen to this. The greatest summer song of 1994, and it's on the radio now. Summer song sensation heading to Somerset." "Not a bad idea, blowing up Somerset," Chip added. "Except we'd have no skittle alleys or cider. So no, I would say it's a bad idea." Pin added a note of caution. "Somerset it's got Hinkley Point, one of the biggest nuclear plants in the UK. It would be impossible to just blow Somerset up. The explosion would wreak havoc in our country, Europe, and the rest of the world. Remember Chernobyl? That disaster of a nuclear plant blew up in 1986, and the wave of nuclear elements, dust and so on, went around the world. Restrictions on sales of Welsh lamb that were contaminated as the result of that blast has stopped Welsh lamb being sold, and that ban that still haven't been lifted, some 8 years later." "And what about cricket?" said Pin. "Somerset has had some outstanding cricket teams, with Botham, Garner, Viv Richards, Mushtaq Ahmed, Graham Rose, Vic Marks, and not forgetting the great Fred Rumsey. There is a new boy coming on, Marcus Trescothick. It seems he is going to be good, and he is one to watch for the future. So, let's keep Somerset exactly where it is, I thank you." Chip, who was looking for a repost, interjected. I used to love cricket, listening to John Arlott on the radio with his leisurely but articulate, confiding countryman's accent. They used to call him the voice of cricket. He had a wonderful gift for painting verbal pictures of great cricketing moments. He made me want to go and watch the England team play. One day, I decided to go and see England play the Aussies. I tool a packed lunch of sandwiches and a flask of coffee, and I took my then-girlfriend Mary to see England play, and to give the Aussies a good thumping as a treat. We took the train to Taunton, and then the bus to Yeovil. I hadn't been there before, and I was looking out for the cricket ground. I knew there was a big cricket ground in Taunton, but Yeovil was the home of English cricket, at the Yeovil